Coming to general studies perspective, these three theories are very important for us. When it comes to optional, there shall be added up with few more theories relating with Davis and Pink cycle, isostasy theories, slope development theories. Atla manaki optional, whenever we read optional, there shall be addition of some 6 to 7 theories more to these three theories. So these three theories defaultly they are present in optional, but specifically if we calculate, they are very much important for general studies point of view. So whenever we are reading geography in GS paper 1, highest chances are there in mains. The questions from these three theories might come. Every alternate year, questions tend to come. This year, let's say he has asked continental drift theory. Maximum chances are there in the following year, he would be asking about the seafloor spreading context. And the upcoming following year, he would ask about plate tectonics. And there is no sequence as such. कि एक बार ये पूछ लिया तो next बार यही पूछना है. He will ask it out in a random rate. But understanding these three theories will help us to understand how the landforms have been formed, how the landscape development will take place. మనకు ఒక ఐడియా వస్తుంది అన్నట్టు. అచ్చా ఇట్లా landforms form అవుతాయి. Despite whatever has said in this theory, entirely it is not true. It might be on the basis of assumptions too. But at least some or the other thing in these particular theories, there is a hidden truth. So we have to find out that hidden truth, and never we are supposed to criticize these theories. Every time whenever we are writing any answer regarding with continental drift theory, seafloor spreading or plate tectonics, we have to appreciate their effort. We should not say like, ये इसने नहीं बोला, ये इसने नहीं बोला, ये इसने नहीं बोला. वो बोलना ही नहीं. उसने बोला, but उसमें थोड़ा limitation है. That does not have proof. So we have to every time proclaim the legacy of these particular theories. If you go into the philosophical context, whenever a man speaks, there are only two things. One is either truth, one is either lie. But in a lie which man says, we would be having some or the other truth hidden in it. If there is no hidden truth in it, then it is not called as lie. Have you understood this statement? In every lie which we say, there is some hidden truth. For example, if we are proposing a girl, despite we don't like her, we say, you are my life, you are my heart. है ना, तेरे बिना मैं जिंदगी जी नहीं सकता हूं. यस, हो सकता है ये गलत भी हो, बट सम और द अदर पैरामीटर, सम हिडन ट्रूथ इज देयर इन इट, है ना. इन अवर लाइफ साइकिल ऑल्सो, व्हेनेवर वी से सम लाई टू पेरेंट्स, फ्रेंड्स, सोसाइटी, देयर शैल बी सम हिडन ट्रूथ मैच्ड इन. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ व्हेनेवर वी यूज्ड टू गो टू पब विथ फ्रेंड्स, तो घर में क्या बोल के जाना है? पब बोले तो चप्पल उठाते घर में, है ना. सो व्हाट वी से इज, वी फ्रेंड्स आर मीटिंग अप. फर्स्ट वी विल गो टू टेंपल, साई बाबा का दर्शन करेंगे, प्रवचनाలు వింటాం, దృశ్యం సినిమాలో విన్నట్టు. దెన్ ఇఫ్ టైం పర్మిట్స్ వి విల్ గో టు షాపింగ్. దెన్ ఆల్సో వి విల్ गो टू मॉल इफ टाइम परमिट्स. वहां पे मूवी भी देखेंगे. सो इट माइट कंज्यूम द एंटायर डे. అండ్ అందులో వాస్తవం చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. టెంపుల్ స్కిప్, మాల్ పాసిబిలిటీస్ దేర్, అండ్ వీ విల్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ సర్టెన్ ఏరియాస్. మేమైతే ఏం చేసేదంటే పబ్, స్పోర్ట్స్ బార్ ఆర్ షాపింగ్, మూవీ అన్ని ఒకే దాంట్లో ఏదైతే మాల్లో ఉంటారో అడిగిపోయేది. ఇఫ్ ఎనీ లొకేషన్ ఇస్ ట్రేస్డ్ ఆల్సో, ऑब्वियसली उसमें क्या है, हिडन ट्रूथ. हाँ, वी वेर इन मॉल. सो जो भी हम झूठ बोलते हैं जिंदगी में, उसमें कुछ तो कुछ हिडन ट्रूथ, हाउ इट वुड बी देयर. इन द सिमिलर वे, इन द थियरीज, थियरी माइट अपीयर इन अ फैंटेसी वे. लगेगा कि ये क्या बोल रहा है, झूठ बोल रहा है, बट सम और अदर वे देयर इज सम हिडन ट्रूथ इन इट. So that's where we have to appreciate that particular hidden truth rather than focusing on the lie portion which they would be saying. So we have to focus in that dimension. And one request from my side is, until I finish plate tectonics theory, until I say that plate tectonics theory is finished, you should not come to any conclusion, because we humans have idiotic habit that we come to conclusion at very first instance. अगर किसी को रोड पे देखा कि लाइक హీస్ పబ్కి వెళ్తున్నాడు అనుకోండి, వాడిని చూసినా ఫస్ట్ మనం ఏ చిచోరా హై నా హీ విల్ డ్రింక్ అన్న ఒక ప్రీ ఇండిక్స్ ఆర్ ప్రిజుడిస్ కాంపోనెంట్లోకి వస్తుంది. హ్యూమన్స్ హ్యావ్ దిస్ హ్యాబిట్, బట్ యూ ఆర్ నాట్ హ్యూమన్, యూ ఆర్ సూపర్ హ్యూమన్. You are a civil services aspirant. Now you are going to convert into a bureaucrat. So for bureaucrat to happen, you should not come to conclusion that easily. For this also, until I finish all the three theories, continental drift theory, seafloor spreading theory and plate tectonics, I request you not to come to any conclusion. Once I say plate tectonics theory is finished, तुम्हारा मर्जी, जो कंक्लूजन आपको ड्रिवन करना है उससे आप कर लीजिएगा. ठीक है. फर्स्ट विल स्टार्ट अप विथ कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी. डोंट राइट एनीथिंग, जस्ट क्लोज योर बुक्स एंड सिट काम. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम अप्रिशिएटिंग. कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी was a first attempt in such a kind where which was made in geomorphology. But before, prior to this continental drift theory, also we had some theories which are completely baseless, and those theories include tetrahedral hypothesis. Later on comes continental drift theory by F.B. Taylor, but those theories are completely baseless. That's why those theories are not appreciable in that regard. So that particular theory, after tetrahedral hypothesis, after continental drift theory by F.B. Taylor, the most appreciable theory comes with this statement like continental drift theory, which has been given by Alfred Wegener. Now, who is Alfred Wegener? He is a geophysicist and a meteorologist. What is the work of meteorologist? Meteorologist. Then who is geomorphologist? Who studies meteors? No? Meteor है तो meteorologist बना देंगे. Climate. Reading about the weather and climate, he is considered as meteorologist. Sir, then being meteorologist, what he is hell doing in geomorphology? इसका तो काम ही नहीं है ना. What he is doing? Actually, Alfred Wegener had an intention. He had an ambition, and that ambition was to study about the climatic history of the earth. How earth's climate has evolved since its formation. Atmosphere कैसा बना, glaciation phase कैसा था, how deglaciation happened, and how slowly rainfalls came, how the hydrological cycles came, how different climates have segregated. So that was his main ambition, that to study about the climatic past so that he can estimate the future, that how climate is going to change, how climate is going to behave, and until what extent human existence can happen on the earth's surface. This was his ambition. And now to fulfill his ambition, what he has did is to study climate. What he will do? Would he go in time machine back and come all the way in different ages seeing about the climates? No. To understand climate, the best methodology is to study vegetation of that region, how the vegetation evolved. But you will only understand the present state of climate if you are reading vegetation. What happened in the past you won't understand. Yes or no? So for that, what Alfred Wegener has did is he has collected different fossil fuels from different locations of the world. Coal, he has studied about coal fields. He has studied landforms, abhi gusa geomorphology. He studied different landforms, their origin, their synchronization across the world. He has studied some botanical evidences. He has studied some tillate deposit evidences. Glacier, whichever sediments will deposit, usko hum tillate bolte hain. He has studied about polar wandering. He has studied which regions experienced that particular polar type of climates. He has studied about different rock structures. In this way, he has collected hundreds of evidences. Why? To understand about the climatic history of the earth. Are you getting this point? So when he was reading these particular evidences, when he was preparing a thesis, he came across with some confusions. What were those confusions? Confusion number one, when he was reading about coal field, we have different coal fields across the world. In India, you will find coal field around Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Raniganj coal field. ऐसा सुने coal field. When he was studying coal fields, surprisingly, how coal is formed? Decaying of plant and animal. Very good. For millions of years. Where should we have more coal? In the regions where we have dense forestries, dense animals. कहाँ पे है? वहाँ पे we should find coal fields. So on that surface, the coal field should be at equator, because equator will have high vegetation and density. But unfortunately, equator does not have any coal field. Equator के पास नहीं है. Coal fields are present far away from equator. How this could happen? If coal is being formed, vegetation should be there. But in the regions of vegetation, coal is not available. And in the region where coal is there, vegetation is not available. This is first confusion. Second confusion. Landforms which he has read when he was studying different mountains and different landforms. In tropical country, India, Odisha, Talcher location, do you find glacier? जगन्नाथ जो रथ यात्रा होता है वो ग्लेशियर के क्लाइमेट में होगा? नो. ओडिशा हैज ग्लेशियर, ice sheet? No. But Odisha, Thalcher location, they had glacier landform. Now how this would be possible? एक तो कोल का चक्कर, एक तो लैंडफॉर्म का चक्कर. Now Alfred Wegener comes with two conclusions. Assumption is called why this might have happened. For that, Alfred Wegener comes with conclusion number one, stating that on the earth surface, whatever the continents are present, continents were constant, permanent. They did not move. Climates moved. इक्वेटर रीजन पे पोलर था, फिर ट्रॉपिक पे आया, फिर ऊपर गया, फिर ऊपर गया, फिर ऊपर गया, फिर 90 डिग्रीज पर पहुंच गया. दिस इज कंक्लूजन नंबर वन. कंक्लूजन नंबर टू, climates were constant. Continents moved. Which is optimum conclusion? Any fool on this planet will choose second conclusion. Hence, Alfred Wegener rejected the theory of permanency of continents, and he stated continents got drifted. The same statement he has written in thesis, that continents got drifted. फिर thesis submit करने गया, जो प्रोफेसर करेक्शन कर रहा था thesis का, he will ask, Mr. Alfred Wegener, you have written this statement, continental drift has happened. Is it so? Then what would Alfred Wegener say? Yes, sir. चलो, prove करके आओ. Go and prove and come now. I will approve your thesis. In this way, indirectly, without any intention, without any ambition, Alfred Wegener now comes to prove continental drift theory. फिर ये thesis का record पकड़ा, घर गया. When he goes and sits, क्या है दिमाग में? कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी. लैबोरेटरी में बैठा, कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी कहां से ही एक्सप्लेन करेगा? फिर सो गया. Something comes in his dream, some cock and bull story, the fantasies. And after waking up post 2 hours, he recreates that fantasy and shares his theory to us. And that theory is continental drift theory. कैसे चूतिया बनाना, इससे सीखना. Alfred Wegener says, in Mesozoic era, अभी हमें डाउट आता है, सर ये क्या है Mesozoic era? మన లైఫ్ లో ఒక లైఫ్ సైకిల్ ఉంటదిగా. we have one life cycle. In that way, earth evolution will also have one life cycle. And that life cycle of earth is called as geological time scale. This geological time scale states that we have earth which was formed 4,600 million years ago. Coming to 4,000 million years ago, earth crust started forming the topmost surface. 2,500 million years ago, life has begun in sea. 542 million years ago, this entire zone which is there before 542 million year, that we term it as Precambrian phase. We term it as Precambrian phase. And as soon as we reach 542 million years, this 542 million years is called as Paleozoic era. How we are calling it as Precambrian era? We are calling this as Paleozoic era from 542 to 251. है ना, secondary school of education. उसमें subdivisions है. We have different periods in it. In one era, we have separate periods. Cambrian period, first fish came. Ordovician period, animal diversification happened. Silurian period, first vascular plant has developed. Devonian period, first amphibians and fish diversity evolved. Carboniferous period, first reptiles has evolved. Trees started growing. Seed ferns started growing. Permian period, we had major extinction and reptiles diversity has happened there. By then, Paleozoic era finishes. From 251 to 65, we call it as Mesozoic era. In Mesozoic era, again we have Triassic phase, where we had first mammals and first dinosaurs. We have Jurassic phase, we have first birds and dinosaurs diversity. Then we have Cretaceous phase, where dinosaurs have extinct. First primates came into picture, first flowering plants came. And from 65 to 1.8 million year or present 0 right now अब तक, उसको हम Cenozoic era बोलते हैं. उसमें we have Tertiary period where mammals diversity happened, and in Quaternary period 1.8 million to 0, దాని Quaternary period అంటారు, where human evolution started. In this way we reach the present state. Okay, today's assignment is draw this geological time scale tabular column in one page and come. Not necessary that you have to remember this. It's an optional topic, but it will give you a greater edge while you write answers. While Alfred Wegener is explaining that in Mesozoic era, the continents were present in this, you can connect it with the geological time scale as such. Are you getting this point? Geological time scale का जो table है उसको by heart करके या याद रख के आ जाओ. Are you getting this? Now coming to the theory. According to Alfred Wegener, during the mid-Mesozoic era, there was a single continent which existed, which we call it as Pangaea, which was completely surrounded by water body, which we refer it to as Panthalassa. Pangaea, supercontinent, Panthalassa, superocean. And on this particular landmass reaching this 200 million years, certain forces have acted on it. And that certain forces have made this Pangaea to broke into two. One as Laurasia, one as Gondwana land. And further the forces acted, reaching 150 million years ago, there was a drift in North America and South America. Slowly Indian landmass got drifted from this particular parameter. Reaching 65 million years, Australia got separated from Antarctica. This has been further subjugated and India has moved its northernward journey. And that made the present state to come. This is what the cock and bull story, which was said by Alfred Wegener. Now, after preparing his theory, Alfred Wegener writes again in the thesis and he goes to his professor stating that, sir, मैंने continental drift theory कर लिया. So, professor sees, professor को भी कुछ पता नहीं है continental drift theory के बारे में. Yes or no? So, now professor will ask, you have said some forces have made this drift to happen. Can you explain me what are those forces now? उसके प्यास का घंटा था. Randomly he has said. Then again he said, I'll come back, sir. फिर घर गया, सो गया, फिर उठा. On this mother earth, there is one force which we use anywhere. Alfred Wegener says the drift has happened in northern and western direction, equatorward and westward. These continents were present near to the South Pole. From South Pole, the drift has been happened. Equatorward and westward, northward and westward. Westward movement of these continents happened because of gravitational pull of sun and moon and tidal forces along with the buoyancy force. Now, what is buoyancy force? ये लड़के को और एक फ्रेंड था एंड उस फ्रेंड का नाम है एडवर्ड सुएस. डू यू रिमेंबर हिम? हु हैज गिवन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ Sial, Sima and Nife, stating that Sial is floating on Sima. And according to Edward Suez, continents were floating on oceans. Are continents floating on oceans? Then what is floating on what? Lithosphere is floating on. So, as he has friend Edward Suez, he trusted him. And he says, Sial is floating on Sima. In that way, he says, due to the crust floating on oceans, the drift has happened. Buoyancy force. And there is an attracting force from pole to pole. The continents move, which he called it as pole fleeing force. Gravitational pull of sun and moon, tidal forces, pole fleeing forces, buoyancy forces. These were the forces which he prepared. He went. फिर सबमिट किया. फिर प्रोफेसर ने पूछा ये तो ठीक है, बट एविडेंसेस क्या है इसका? You should show evidence for a theory, then only it will become a law. Alfred Wegener, did he have any evidence? No. फिर घर चले गया, फिर सो गया, फिर उठा. Then he came up with some evidences. Sir, where did he take from? Initially, when he was studying about the climatic history of the earth, Alfred Wegener collected some evidences. उसमें जो जो evidences अच्छा लगा, he has lifted it. According to Alfred Wegener, Alfred Wegener has lifted some evidences which he has collected while he was studying about the climatic past of the earth, apparent affinity of physical features, botanical evidences, placer deposits, tillate deposits, polar wandering distribution of fossils, rocks of same age across the oceans. According to Alfred Wegener, if you could see, he says that apparent affinity of physical features on evidence number 1. What he states is jigsaw fit. You remember jigsaw fit puzzle which we used to play in childhood? कार्टून रहता था, कार्डबोर्ड्स में उधर उधर उलट पलट के, then we have to match and fit all the pieces. उसको हम jigsaw fit बोलते हैं. So Alfred Wegener states that all the continents, when they are brought together, it appears like every continent meets with one other continent as a jigsaw fit puzzle. Example quoting, he states that the South American eastern coast which is there, that South American eastern coast is fitting into Niger Delta of Africa as such, and the North America portion will fit into the northern portion of Africa. So by showing this jigsaw fit as an evidence, he has stated that as continents were one particular part, they got drifted. Hence, the coastlines maintain that affinity of common shape which they have. This is the first evidence which Alfred Wegener has proclaimed it to give. But coastlines are subjected to change under geomorphic process. एपिरोजेनिक मूवमेंट में हो सकता है अभी जो कोस्ट है 1 मिलियन ईयर के बाद वो ना रहे, ऐसा नो. सो क्रिटिसिज्म फॉर दिस एविडेंस इज coastlines are subjected to change. And what Alfred Wegener says is, चलो coastlines are subjected to change, ठीक है, but those particular rocks which he has collected in the Western Africa, and when he has matched it with Eastern South America, how did these particular rocks have matched their origin of the same origin of age, same texture, same composition? So with this he says that the rock structures are being matched. And when he has studied about rocks across the ocean, he has found out that in North American region, Africa and European region, if you could match and see, in North America, USA location, we have Appalachian mountains. So these Appalachian mountains have continuity until this Greenland and Europe, where there are some submerged mountainous ranges over there which are showing continuity. Appalachian, Caledonian, Hercynian, and northwestern Europe which is there, that particular northwestern Europe has Scandinavian mountains as such. Scandinavian mountains as such. So Appalachian, Hercynian, Caledonian and Scandinavian mountains which are there, they are having continuity across the oceans. By showing this, he states that all these mountains were formed when all these continents were located at a single age called as Pangaea. This is the second evidence. In that way, he has collected different tillate placer deposits showcasing that two different tillate deposits collected from two continents. They are having proximity towards the other continent. How this would happen? And the most important evidence which Alfred Wegener comes up with is fossil evidences. What Alfred Wegener has found is there is a fossil remain. The fossil name is Cynognathus. We have a species called as Cynognathus. Fossil remains of this Cynognathus, which is a Triassic land reptile, which is approximately 3 meters long, is found in South America and Africa. तो अभी आप ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि ये स्विमिंग करते हुए गए, है ना? फॉसिल कैसे करेगा? And there is a freshwater reptile again, which is called as Mesosaurus. This also found in South America and Africa. And we have one particular species called as Glossopteris, which is a fern. The fossil of this fern is found in Australia, Antarctica, India, Africa, South America. इतना दूर कैसे गया? And there is a fossil Triassic land reptile called as Lystrosaurus, which are present in Antarctica, India and Africa. So how these many fossils, these many continents came? When they were part of Gondwana land, these particular fossils have evolved. That's why when the continents drifted, the fossils diversification happened in these particular continents. So with these evidences, Alfred Wegener hits this particular theory, which by name called as Continental Drift Theory as such. But this particular theory has limitations, drawbacks, because Alfred Wegener did not answer that why the drift only has happened in Mesozoic era. Why not before? What was there before? And all the evidences which he has given, they are subjected to change. And this particular theory of fossil which he has given, this is going against the theory of homoplasy. In science, in biology, we study this homoplasy. Ante, same genetically identified species can take its origin from two different locations. మనం అంటాం కదా, మనుషులు పోలిన మనుషులు 7 మంది ఉంటారు. So the same genetical segment which is there, that can happen from two different continents. Have you heard this? Same तुम्हारा जैसा दिखा. 7 members would be there across the world like same like you. हमें एक को झेलना बहुत मुश्किल है, 7 लोगों को देखो एक ही साथ में, मर जाएंगे लोग, है ना? So that theory is called as homoplasy. Now if I bring homoplasy into this, then this evidence appears flawed. And Alfred Wegener did not explain about earthquakes, volcanoes and mountains. And Alfred Wegener did not explain how different oceans have been formed. And the flaw, biggest flaw is forces. If gravitational pull of sun and moon had that particular strength that it could drift to the continents, it might have influenced the rotation of the earth also, but that did not happen. And Seal floating on Sima is the biggest flaw, because lithosphere is floating on asthenosphere is truth. So in this way, this theory has limitations, but never ever हमें limitation पकड़ना ही नहीं है. What conclusion can we draw from this particular theory? What is the final conclusion which we can come by understanding this theory?
Happened, but not because of other gravitational force.
Drift has happened, but forces जो बोला might not be true. हाँ, और कोई?
The jigsaw fit also may not be true.
Jigsaw fit may not be true. Anyone else? The last 3 sitting, you are new to this class? Black sheet? Yes. Black? First class? Today? Demo. You came to test me. Okay. Where are you from? All the 3? ओनली 2. अच्छा, एक्चुअली डेमो लेने का ये तरीका नहीं है. डेमो इज द बिगेस्ट स्कैम इन इंडिया. डेमो पीस में जो दिखाते हैं ना, असल में वो नहीं है. सच बता रहा हूं. अशोकनगर में तो डेमो इज बिगेस्ट स्कैम. बिकॉज डेमो को दिन बहुत अच्छे पढ़ाएंगे, मतलब आपको लगेगा अब भी मैं आईएएस बन जा रहा हूं, चलो अब फॉर्च्यूनर गाड़ी खरीद लो पहले ही. सच बता रहा हूं. इफ यू माइट हैव एनीवन हैव अटेंडेड एनी डेमोस इन अदर इंस्टीट्यूट्स हियर और व्हेन यू हैव अटेंडेड, आप कहां पे अटेंड किए थे? मैं यहां पे हैदराबाद में. यू हैव अटेंडेड एनी डेमो फ्रॉम अदर इंस्टीट्यूट? नो अटेंड చేసినారా? ఏడా? నాలుగు చోట్ల పోయినావా? అయితే he has to say what is the truth. ఎటు పోయినవరా? మంచి ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్లకి పోయినావు నువ్వు. ఇక్కడ ఇన్నావు. మరి ఈడెందుకు జాయిన్ అయినావు? డెమో చూసానా? డెమోలో మంచి చెప్పాడు, చెప్పకపోతే ఏంటి మరి పరిస్థితి? తిరుపతి ఉండి లేచినట్టేనా? एनीवन एल्स? हाँ, कहाँ पे गए थे आप? డబ్బులు కట్టినాక రమ్మని మొత్తం ముంచాలి. अशोक नगर में होता है बहुत बड़ा स्कैम. डेमो वुड बी लाइक మనకి లైఫ్ కనిపించేస్తుంది. बाद में we don't feel to commit suicide also. I have a cousin sister who right now is preparing in one institute. इधर नहीं आती वो, because I scold her. She is very afraid of me. वो पानी पूरी खाने के लिए भी जाती है ना, मुझे टेक्स्ट करके जाती है, अन्ना पानी पूरी तिन्नी के पोतना. So उतना डर है उसको. पता नहीं, I never scolded her, but she has that. So when she asked me, I want to prepare for civil service, मैंने बोला ठीक है, तो मेरे इंस्टीट्यूट में मत आ, because out of fear you won't read or you will act. You choose any institute, you go join there, I will come and speak, पैसे विषय में बात कर लेता हूं, तू जा बोल के बोला. एक इंस्टीट्यूट में ज्वाइन हुई हो, पूरा ज्योग्राफी 30 आवर में पढ़ा के चले गए. उसको पता भी नहीं है what she has read. I have asked her a question. What is endogenic force? Blank. What is exogenic force? Blank. कुछ भी नहीं आती उसको. मतलब क्या पढ़ा है? हिमालयस पढ़ाया गया. मैंने उसका नोट्स देखा, 50-60 पेपर में नोट्स खत्म हो गया पूरा. ज्योग्राफी मेरा खत्म होने के बाद देखो कितने नोट्स आप लिखेंगे. सो पीपल डू दिस स्कैम्स इन मार्केट. पहले स्टूडेंट को अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए मतलब दिवाली पटाखे फोड़ेंगे, बट जब ओरिजिनल क्लास आएगा बच्चे सो जाएंगे वहां पे. दैट्स व्हाई डेमो अगर आपको लेना है कभी किसी का भी कहां पे भी, लाइव क्लास में मत बैठो. क्योंकि लाइव क्लास में बैठे तो क्या होता, फ्रंट डेस्क से फैकल्टी को फोन आता, ఈరోజు నలుగురు డెమోకున్నారు, మంచి చెప్పండి మంచి. సో దట్ आई वुड टीच फैंटास्टिकली, वो 4 एडमिशन आ जाए. ओरिजिनली डेमो लेने का तरीका है, डोंट सिट इन लाइव क्लास. वहां पे जाओ, कहीं पे भी रिसेप्शन में बैठो, आस्क देम प्रीवियस बैच वीडियो. ऑलरेडी जो बैच कंप्लीट हुआ होगा ना, उसमें चूज एक 100 क्लासेस हुआ होगा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ज्योग्राफी का. आस्क देम ऑफ योर रैंडम नंबर, आई वॉन्ट टू सी क्लास नंबर 72. उसको ओपन करो, पसंद आया ज्वाइन हो जाओ, नहीं पसंद आया चले जाओ. दिस इज द राइट वे. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड? नहीं अभी आप बैठ जाओ. नो, जनरली बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इज इन अशोक नगर in Ashok Nagar, ये चलता है. And one faculty का face ऐसा दिल्ली फैकल्टी बोल के दिखाएंगे, फिर वो दिल्ली से कभी आएगा ही नहीं. So don't fall to these traps. Trap number 1 is demo. Trap number 2 is ranks. Every institute they proclaim that हमारा rank 1 हमारा है. See, every aspirant in his stage of preparation will take help from every institute, rather I say every faculty from different institutes. हो सकता है एक के पास मॉक इंटरव्यू ले, गाइडेंस मॉक इंटरव्यू पे जिसको, एक के पास प्रीलिम्स, एक के पास कंटेंट, एक के पास टेस्ट सीरीज, एक के पास फाउंडेशन बैच, एक के पास मेंटरशिप, एक के पास मेंस एनरिचमेंट प्रोग्राम, एक के पास पर्सनल मेंटरशिप. मतलब देयर शैल बी मच डाइवर्सिटीज. सो अनफॉर्चुनेटली और फॉर्चुनेटली रैंक्स पकड़ के निकल जाते हैं. दिस इज सेकंड स्कैम. डेमो पहला, स्कैम सेकंड. थर्ड, दिल्ली फैकल्टी. मतलब दिल्ली फैकल्टी आए तो कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी चेंज होगा क्या? एल्फ्रेड वेगनर की जगह क्या थॉमस अल्वा एडिसन आके पढ़ाएगा? बिगेस्ट मिथ. दिल्ली फैकल्टी गली फैकल्टी कुछ नहीं है. जिसके दम है, सर फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं इंटरमीडिएट फेल हूं, मैंने डिग्री नहीं किया, कुछ भी नहीं किया, बट आई कैन टीच यू ज्योग्राफी. डू यू नीड इट और नॉट? डू यू नीड इट और नॉट? मैं इंटरमीडिएट फेल भाई, इंटरमीडिएट फेल, बट आई कैन टीच एक्सेलेंट ज्योग्राफी विच इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर यूपीएससी. आपको मेरा सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए या टीचिंग चाहिए? मतलब ये ओरिजिनलिटी चेक नहीं करते, सब लोग ब्रांड पे जाते. दिल्ली, अब दिल्ली का देखो इंस्टीट्यूट में क्या हो रहा है, हलचल हलचल हलचल, पूरा रोड पे आ गया बैंक करप्ट की वजह से. सो बेटा व्हाट्स योर नेम सिटिंग एट द लास्ट? नाम क्या है बेटा? हेमंत. लेडी शरण्या, वेर आर यू फ्रॉम? नेल्लूर. वेरी गुड. విజయవాడ. అరే వా గ్రేట్. క్లాస్ అయిపోయినాక ఫ్రంట్ డెస్క్ పోయి మా పాత బ్యాచ్ విజయ్ సార్ చెప్పుంటాడు కదా జాగ్రఫీ, దాంట్లో నీ ఇష్టం వచ్చిన నెంబర్ క్లాస్ చూడు, నీ నెంబర్ నువ్వు ఫిక్స్ చేసుకో. ఆ నెంబర్ నీకు నచ్చింది అనుకో, రేపటి నుంచి వచ్చాయి. నచ్చలేదు అనుకో, फीस संगत దేవుడి గారికి भाई फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज प्रिपरेशन. फीस आज नहीं तो कल भरेंगे, वो छोड़ो. మొత్తం వినేసినాక ఒకసారి అది కూడా వినండి టు ట్రస్ట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. बिकॉज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज दिस इज स्कैम व्हिच रन्स इन मार्केट. अब कभी वैसा जाना नहीं है. ये दिस इज सिंपल लाइक स्वीट शॉप वाले के पास गए एंड आस्क हिम भैया थोड़ा टेस्ट खिलाओ, तो ऑब्वियसली व्हाट ही विल डू, जो अभी बनाया सो वो खिलाएगा. जो पैक करते टाइम पे कल या परसों को जो काजू कतली बच गया होगा वो पैक कर ले. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? चलो, शरण्या एंड हेमंत एंड शरण्या. शरण्या SARANY. Okay, good. Is this understood? Now what is conclusion which we have to get? Did he fool us? Did he tried? Did he explain great or neutral?
He tried to explain, but he fooled himself.
He tried to explain, he fooled himself. अरे वाह. हाँ. और
There is some truth to it.
some truth to it. हाँ.
It is best because it laid the foundation for next thing.
वेरी गुड. थिंकिंग प्रोसेस चालू हो गया, ऐसा नो थिंकिंग प्रोसेस. सो कंक्लूजन इज डिस्पाइट दिस थियरी इज साइंटिफिकली अनसाउंड. डिस्पाइट दिस थियरी इज scientifically unsound, but this theory has played a significant role in the plate tectonics, giving a way for upcoming theories of seafloor spreading and plate tectonics theory. समझ में आ गया सबको? Everyone, will you forget this theory again? No? Clear? Shall we move into the next theory? ये समझ में आ गया? रात को 12 बजे भी बोल देंगे, एक हफ्ते के बाद, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, उसके बाद जरूरी नहीं है, छोड़ दो. कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी की जरूरत नहीं है अभी. डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर बन के क्या करेंगे? लोगों को कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी पढ़ाएंगे. छोड़ो, एग्जाम होने के बाद ये थ्योरी छोड़ो. एवरीवन गॉट दिस पॉइंट?